Hey guys, Happy New Year to you all. I know it's been a minute since I last made a video, but I'm back now. Many more interesting videos are scheduled and you will see them in the next few weeks. Today, I want to talk about Christopher Ward's new Moonphase watch, which is possibly one of their most attractive watches ever. But is this a good watch or is it just a pretty face? Is the custom movement inside the watch reliable? And finally, is the price justified? Let me answer all these questions through this video. Firstly, I want to thank the wonderful team at Christopher Ward for sending me this and the C63 Celeste for review. I made a video talking about the Celeste and you can watch it here. Now back to the C1 Moonphase. First, the specs. This watch measures 40.5mm in diameter with a lug-to-lug width of 47.9mm and a thickness of 13.3mm. So this isn't a small watch by any metrics. I would have really liked to see a smaller and slimmer watch, but I can understand Christopher Ward's reasons for a larger watch. Being a dress watch, it's no surprise that the watch only has 30 meters of water resistance. This doesn't bother me because I won't do anything sporty with this watch, neither will most of the people buying it. I hope. The C1 Moonphase watch is priced at just over $2,300 on a leather strap and almost $2,500 with the consort bracelet. Now this isn't overly expensive in the grand scheme of things considering the look of this watch. But it is almost twice as expensive as a typical Christopher Ward watch that's priced between $1,000 to $1,500. So what's the reason for this steep price? Two things mainly. First, the beautiful double aventurine dial. Aventurine is a glass that's made by adding copper or iron oxides to hot glass mixture. As the glass cools, the copper crystallizes, forming these sparkly features. Although beautiful, aventurine is pretty fragile, which leads to a higher rejection rate than normal and more cost for production. The watch face is made of two overlapping discs of aventurine glass. The base disc holds the moon face, while the top disc overlaps this one and hides the second moon. To set the moon face, the crown needs to be pulled out to the first position and turned clockwise. Once you go to the new moon, the second moon starts emerging from the other side. By the way, did you know that our moon is 6 times bigger than Pluto? And it's almost as big as the planet Mercury. So it's actually quite big. And Christopher Ward seemed to have put two moons just as big as the real one on the dial. These photorealistic moons are made of globolite, a type of luminous ceramic. Just look at the details on them. I've never seen a moon face that's quite this big and this convincing. In person, it's really quite striking. People are going to notice it and be impressed. Talking about beautiful moonphase watches, a few months ago I reviewed 3 delightful moonphases from another British micro brand, Fairer. You can check that video up here or down in the description. The second factor raising the cost is the in-house JJ04 movement that's visible through the open case back. The JJ series of movements were developed by Christopher Ward's master watchmaker Johannes Janke, JJ, who now works as Director of Movement Development at Sellita. All the JJ movements, which include complications like jump hour, chronograph, and a world timer, are partly or wholly developed by Johannes. And developing movements in-house isn't always cheap or easy. Several years of work has gone into the development of these movements. Moreover, this JJ04 movement was further tweaked by Christopher Ward before putting it inside this watch. This 26 joule 4Hz movement has a tolerance of plus or minus 20 seconds and a power reserve of 38 hours. But the best part about it is that it's a perpetual moon phase, which means that once set correctly, the moon phase indicator will be accurate for another 128 years, as long as you keep it wound. Duh. In my experience so far, the watch has worked well and I have not had any problems of note with it. Now I want to talk about the negatives and the positives of this watch. Let's start off with the downsides. Despite the attractive dial and in-house movement, the price may be slightly steep for some. For this price, I would have liked to see a more accurate movement with a longer power reserve. That said, it will be hard to find another moonphase watch that looks as good as this one sub $5,000. Second are the watch dimensions. This 40.5mm light catcher case has a 48mm lug-to-lug distance and a thickness of over 13mm. These dimensions make the watch wear pretty big on my 6-inch wrist. Classically, dress watches are supposed to be small and slim. Now, although the lugs don't overhang, the watch does look a bit oversized on my unfortunately small wrists. I would have loved seeing this watch in the 36 to 38mm range and a couple of millimeters slimmer. A quick note about the light catcher case is that this is Christopher Ward's new case design that's finished very well and seems to almost catch the light. I speak more about this in the C63 Celeste video that you can watch here. Now let's talk about the positives. The most obvious positive here is the stunning aventurine dial with the gigantic moonphase indicator. Aventurine glass is unique in that it glitters like the night sky, which happens to be the perfect stage for this large photorealistic moon. The dial quite simply is a showstopper. Christopher Ward have done a great job with it and it looks even better in person. Also, for some reason, this watch seems to glitter more than the C63 Celeste. I wonder if it's just because of the bigger real estate on the dial, or perhaps my LASIK surgery went wrong. Welp. Anyway, it's too late to change that now and my eyes are permanently ruined. Hey, at least the watch looks really nice in any case. The second positive is the movement. An in-house movement is definitely nice to see at this price point. The movement works well and hasn't caused any issues to me in the 3 or 4 weeks of testing. Plus the fact that this is a perpetual moonphase is an added flex. Of course, I'd like to see a more accurate and longer lasting movement, but this one isn't bad. CW have also promised 5 years of warranty on all their watches for added peace of mind. Lastly, the consort bracelet on this watch is special. It's really comfortable and looks good. Although it doesn't have micro adjust, the last few links are small enough to find a snug fit. It reminds me of Rolex's Jubilee bracelet, and that's a compliment. If you're not into bracelets, this watch also looks great, maybe even better on a leather strap. The 20mm lug width makes it easy to find a good strap for it. I frequently put the watch on leather straps and enjoyed the more dressy look. All in all, Christopher Ward has quickly become one of my favorite independent brands. I have enjoyed every watch of theirs that I've worn. The Celeste was super cool. The 12 is arguably the best sports watch in its category, and this moonphase is just stunning. For all it offers, I think the $2,500 price point isn't a bad deal. The only thing stopping me from buying this watch is the size, which is just a little too big for me. But if you have wrists larger than 6.5 inches or 16.5 centimeters, you should be good. If you're looking for a dress watch under $3,000, you need to seriously consider this one. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button if you did and consider subscribing. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the moonphase and on Christopher Ward in general. Are there any other micro brands you enjoy? Perhaps I could review one of those watches this year. Let me know in the comments. Thanks, and I'll see you next week when I talk about my favorite watch of 2023.